You weren't supposed to meet her. Not because of distance, not because of timing, but because people like her don't exist in your world. And when they do, they don't stay. You're 34, living a life that works but doesn't move you. Stable job, predictable routine, conversations that repeat themselves with different faces. Everything makes sense, which is exactly the problem. Nothing surprises you anymore. Then one night, you walk into a networking event you almost skipped. You already regret it before you even step inside. Too many suits, too many fake smiles. Too many people pretending their lives are more important than they actually are. You're halfway through planning your exit when something shifts in the room. Not noise, not attention, alignment. Like people are subtly adjusting themselves around a new center of gravity. You don't see her immediately. You feel her first. And then you turn, and there she is. She's not trying to stand out, which is exactly why she does. No exaggerated gestures, no forced charm, no need to be noticed. And yet, every detail about her feels deliberate, controlled. She's speaking Arabic to someone. Her tone calm, precise, like every word has already been weighed before it leaves her mouth. Then, without warning, she looks at you. Not surprised, not curious, just aware. Like she's known you were there the entire time and simply chose now to acknowledge it. That look lands differently than anything you've experienced before. It's not attraction. It's not interest. It's something sharper. Recognition, without context. And for a second, you forget what you were about to do. You forget that you were leaving. Because now, leaving doesn't feel like an option anymore. You speak briefly. No small talk, no pointless questions, no "what do you do?" She bypasses all of it, like it's beneath her attention. Instead, she asks you one question, calm and direct, like she's not asking to be polite, but to evaluate. If you had everything you think you want, what would you still be missing? You don't answer immediately, because the question isn't simple. It cuts past your rehearsed responses, past the version of yourself you show people, straight into something unfiltered. Most people wouldn't even understand what she's asking, but she does. And she waits. No pressure, no rush. Just silence that expects honesty. And you give it to her. That's your first mistake. Because the moment you answer honestly, you've already stepped into something you don't fully understand. You find out who she is later, not from her, but from someone else who pulls you aside, like you've unknowingly crossed a line you can't uncross. Their voice is low, controlled, but there's urgency in it. She's not just rich, they tell you. She's that family. The kind of family that doesn't need publicity. The kind that exists behind decisions, not headlines. The kind that owns things you've spent your entire life walking past without realizing who they belong to. Royal blood, Dubai, a princess. The word doesn't even land properly at first. It feels exaggerated, unrealistic, like something that shouldn't intersect with your life. And yet, it just did. You expect distance after that. Security, barriers, disappearance. You expect the moment to collapse under the weight of reality. Instead, your phone lights up the next day. One message. Dinner, tomorrow, 8. No question mark. No room for interpretation. You show up, half expecting this to be a misunderstanding, some kind of illusion that corrects itself when you arrive. But the restaurant isn't just reserved. It's empty. Completely empty. Staff standing like they've been prepared for this moment specifically. And for the first time, you begin to understand the scale of her world. Not fully, but enough to know that you're not operating on familiar ground anymore. And yet, she doesn't behave like royalty. That's what unsettles you the most. There's no performance, no need to assert status. She doesn't demand attention. She controls it without effort. She listens when you speak, fully, without interruption, without distraction. And when you say something she disagrees with, she doesn't soften it to protect you. She corrects you immediately. Calm, direct, precise. No ego, no emotion, just clarity. And somehow, that hits harder than criticism ever has before. Because it's not meant to diminish you, it's meant to refine you. Your friends find out, and they react exactly how you expect them to. Panic disguised as concern. This is dangerous. You're out of your depth. People like that don't date, they choose. You laugh it off externally, but internally, something shifts. Because deep down, you know they're not wrong. This isn't equal ground. This isn't familiar territory. And yet, you keep moving forward anyway. 3 weeks in, you notice the change. Not in her, but in you. You start thinking differently, acting differently. Not because she told you to, but because being around her makes your current version of yourself feel incomplete. Not broken, not inadequate, just unfinished. Like you've been operating at a level you thought was enough. And now you're seeing what enough actually looks like from a different perspective. One night, you ask her directly, "Why me?" The question feels heavier than it sounds. She looks at you for a long moment, long enough that it becomes uncomfortable, like she's deciding how honest she wants to be. Then she answers, "Because you're not pretending to be more than you are." A pause. "And because you could be." That's when it clicks. This isn't romance. Not in the way you've experienced before. This is selection. Intentional, calculated, real. 2 months in, she invites you somewhere. Not a date, not an event, a family dinner. And the moment you step inside, you feel it. This isn't a home. It's a system. Every movement controlled, every interaction observed without being obvious. People are watching you, even when they're not looking directly at you. Conversations flow in languages you don't understand, but the tone is enough. Authority, structure, power, silent, but everywhere. Her father approaches you, extends his hand, and shakes yours once. No smile, no hostility, just evaluation. And in that single moment, you feel exactly what's happening. You're being measured, not judged emotionally, assessed. That night, you don't sleep, not because you're afraid, but because something else has taken its place. Awareness. If this continues, your life doesn't adjust. It transforms, completely. And the realization that follows is the one that stays with you. You're not afraid of losing her. You're afraid of becoming the version of yourself that could actually stay with her. Weeks pass, and nothing dramatic happens. No fights, no games, no emotional chaos. Just pressure. Internal, constant, undeniable. You start working harder, thinking sharper, cutting through excuses you didn't even realize you were making before. Because every time you see her, you're reminded of what seriousness actually looks like. And slowly, without her ever explicitly saying it, you start rising to meet it. Then one night, she says something that changes everything. If this continues, it doesn't stay casual. No emotion, no warning. Just a fact. You ask her what that means, and she doesn't answer directly. She never does. Instead, she says, "Everything has a cost." And for the first time, you understand what this really is. This isn't about whether you can have her. It's about whether you can handle what comes with her. Because she isn't just a woman. She's legacy, expectation, standards that don't bend just because you're not used to them. And standing there, inside a life you didn't plan, you feel something shift permanently. Not fear, not excitement. Something deeper. Something irreversible. You don't want to go back. And the most dangerous part? You know you won't.